Hello, everybody. It's good to see you, and we are sorry that you've once again found yourselves stuck in Kagard. My name is Kevin Bradley, and I'm joined with my co-host, Mr. Kevin Gallagher, and we're here to give you a weekly breakdown on some of the big goings-on in the world of MMA and pro grappling. Kev, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Not too bad. Hustling. Full day of meetings, and actually lifted today a little bit. I'm supposed to have a private lesson in the morning. I had a bit of a me day today, but I still have in between me days. I have to talk to accountants and all kind of shit like that.
By the way, any updates on the cat situation? I know you posted about. We can use this platform to try and get some people aware of it.
Not yet, but if anyone is interested in adopting my mother's super adorable little fat cat, she is looking for a home for that thing. She just moved into a retirement community. She moved from a massive 3-bedroom house to a small 1-bedroom apartment, and the cat is just not taking to it very nicely. She's skittish and running all over the place, and she keeps running outside of the house and through the hallways, and my mom is 80 and she can't catch her. So if anyone wants to adopt a sweet little fuzzy fat cat, please let me know. We need to find a home for that cat. Mom can't take care of it. Just FYI. Check it out on Facebook, Instagram, all the other social media.
Any person out there just looking to help out, take in a nice cat, could use a home.
Yeah, we'll put that. We'll cryovac that thing and ship it right to you.
Exactly. No, just freeze it Disney style.
It'll be fine, just like Walt Disney.
And I'd be remiss if I did not bring up good friends of the show and your allies in the fight against looking like a chump on the mats. No judges needed. Your obvious one. First, second, and last stop.
This is one of my favorites here.
Heel
hooker. A little play on words there. You see the hooker part and the heel.
It's a real subtle bit. You got to be a real thinking man to kind of wrap your head around it. But the IQ of this audience.
I wear this shirt on accident to the store every once in a while, like at the grocery store, and everyone stares at me. And it takes me a solid 5 minutes to realize, oh, I'm wearing the hooker shirt.
Have you ever been propositioned because you're wearing that shirt?
Kev, this is a short program. I don't know if we want to get that deep into my personal history. The answer
I only want to bring it up. Okay, so nojudgesneeded.com. Go check them out. But it dovetails very well into a bit of a personal story that I can bring. We're going to get into some actual news. But I was recently propositioned for a bit of a guy on Instagram wants me to come to his house and choke him unconscious. I don't know if I feel good about throwing my Instagram up on here. Hang on.
A little cover up on that.
I might. You know what? I'll edit it so that you can't see some of it. But no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because this is a fun thing. And I'll change it so that you can't see half of the shit. But yeah, this is Luca Judo 77. Good guy. Awesome, interesting dude. Hello. Obviously English is a second language, which is okay. Totally fine. He's 77 kilograms, 1.8 meters. I'm not sure what does he say. Is this shoe size 42? That doesn't seem possible.
No, right.
That doesn't seem possible.
He's looking sizes. I'm confused about that.
This fella or lady fella is looking for a strong expert in loop and lapel chokes, and he wants to test his limits to see how long he can get choked for. He's really passionate. He doesn't want to shock me. Yeah,
no shocking.
And I wanted to get your guys' opinion on my going rate because, listen, I'm not going to lie. I don't have a lot of money. So I'm in the position where I feel like I could maybe explore this option to see how worth my while it'll be. Don't judge me. Hey, no one out there can judge me. Everyone out here has been hurting for money.
No judges needed, baby.
NoJudgesNeeded.com.
I ain't going to lie, man. For $200 in a tight spot, I always make the joke. Matt Arroyo always laughs about this. We always talk about that. We were going to make a show called "There's Nothing Kevin Gallagher Won't Do for $1,000," and I'm not going to lie to you. There ain't a whole lot of shit I won't do for $1,000.
What will Kevin do for Matt's money?
Right, pretty much. What would I do for $1,000?
That's actually the total non sequitur. There was a YouTube show like a decade ago that I loved, and it starred this guy Kevin, and it was "What will Kevin do for money?" And he was this white dude. He got cornrows. He had to wear a I Heart George Bush t-shirt in like 2005.
Oh, wow,
Like he had to get a pie in the face every hour on the hour. He had to eat an entire vending machine of snacks. He had to see the film Beverly Hills Chihuahua like 8 times nonstop. It's a real hidden gem of a show. It's produced by College Humor. Everyone should go check it out. It's a phenomenal. Shout out another Kevin, obviously.
This is what we need. Well, I will tell you one thing along the lines of the choking for profit. This is a real thing. I've been contacted for this several times, and it's always the same thing. It's always broken English. I have a little fun with them sometimes, but most of the time I'm not in the mood. But negotiations. You get that number.
Yeah, no, this is a conversation. So I responded. My going rate is 150 per choke, and you got to pay for travel. So that's my
he's all about it too. He's for the whole day.
For the whole day, like no, but and so it's a conversation, and he's like understanding do you understand my passion, or have I shot you? No, I get you're passionate, totally. It isn't easy finding strong, expert BJJ athletes, which I obviously am. I'm strong, expert athlete.
He obviously didn't look at your profile.
No, he saw it. No, how dare you? He saw it and thought, this is a jacked Adonis who can, physically give me what I want. And he says, above all, he wants bow and arrow chokes or loop chokes. And I said, well, bow and arrow chokes are $200 a piece because that's like a whole different thing.
Upcharge. You got to upcharge.
Yeah. Apparently, he thought my rates were outrageous, as evident by the emoji. And then he hit me with the 150 per day. I think that's pounds. That's euros, I think. So this is not even a guy that's in the continental United States. And he's very sad that it seems like negotiations have started to break down. And now that's where we stand. He knows my price, and hopefully he hits me back with a good offer.
Can I tell you a little secret, Kevin?
Sure.
I have a feeling that he has already pleasured himself just to the messaging of that. I think I don't think he ever anticipates anyone to say yes. I think it's just he's probably already got his rocks off. Just having the having the conversation with you.
And I know this we're having fun, and it's great that we can have fun, but I think it's important to bring this up that this is a bigger problem for women in our sport, and they get a lot more weird shit thrown at them than I do. One of our good friends, Avery Clements, went on. She wrote several articles about the topic and made several posts about it. So, yeah, I get to have fun with this. I get to treat this like just a joke, but it is a problem. So please don't do that. If you're someone looking to get some BDSM or weird sex shit like this, there's places you can go to do that. You don't need to just harass people on Instagram. You can just go get your rocks off. I'm not here to shame you. I'm not here to tell you you're fucked up, but don't just slide into someone's DMs with some weird shit like this.
Very important to make that distinction too, Kev. The reality of it is I don't care what gets you off. I don't give a shit. It's none of my business. It's a big old world we live in. I've seen lots of weird shit. Believe me, baby. I've been around for a while. I don't give a fuck what floats your boat. Just don't include civilians into that conversation. And the problem is that is where the joy comes from. The fact that they get a kick out of just making people go, ooh.
Yeah. It's like, isn't that shocking? Did I shock you? He's waiting for me to tell. I think I didn't give him what he wanted because he's waiting for me to say, "How dare you, disgusting pervert!" And I'm just like, "Hey, let's play, baby."
I will tell a quick story and we can move on. It's another fight story. This is a really good one. When I used to bartend at the gay bar,
nice.
I actually had to drag some gay man out by his fucking back and scruff of his neck and throw him out in the street. He came back in again. And I thought I was gonna kill him. When I took him out the second time. Best day of Kevin, it was the best day of his life. And I will tell you why. It's very true. And this was one of the things that was the most distasteful part of me working in the gay bars when a lot of times, I don't know, God, I hope I don't get hate mail for this, but this is just an observation that I've made. There are certain elements of the gay community that enjoy getting that harsh reaction from straight men when they try to hit on them, and they continue to push the envelope and they continue to push the button, because then when they go, oh, how could you do that to me, they enjoy that physical aggression. And there's different ways I can kind of make myself think that they reason the rationales why they do this, like different psychological reasons. But this particular guy did that to me one night, kept bothering me, wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. So you know what, homie, you got what you wanted, man. I don't really care anymore. Long story short, whatever gets your rocks off is fine. Just try not to include civilians in that.
Exactly. And listen, there's sex workers on Instagram that have it in like their bio, like you can hit me up in the DMs, which is cool. Again, we're not some old fogies here. We get that people are into some weird stuff, and I'm sure this guy, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's a normal dude who's not like this. I hope this was his first time harassing someone in DMs. But Luca Judo 77, if you're out there, I think you should stop what you're doing, because
inappropriate.
It's very inappropriate. But I also hope that you figure your shit out, because obviously, it's rough out there, and I know that we're all just trying to have a little fun, but this is not the way to do it. So
there more than likely is some other person out there that has similar interests, that maybe is into the what is it, the masochistic side of that, or the sadistic side of that.
Yeah, there's a whole industry.
There is someone out there that will choke you. And as we were speaking, I'm actually running the numbers to decide of whether or not I want to start a third additional business to maybe offer some of these people, because Kev, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Listen, and
depending on what day of the month it is, that $250 might come in pretty fucking handy.
And I need to say this real quick at the outset. Grandma Rice, Grandma Bradley, up in heaven, I know you guys are watching me. I only thought about it for like a second. I promise. I'm just and I'm not in that dire of straits yet. So I'm just letting you know.
I could take this to so many dark places. I did this with just I don't want to go there. I'll be nice. We won't talk about masturbation.
Exactly. And obviously, listen. And if you're a female grappler, or just a woman, in the world that has to put up with shit like this in the DMs, of which there are many, many, many of you, it's not okay. Don't feel bad calling that shit out, because it's not okay. And everyone should be able to engage in the online discourse without Luca Judo 77 sliding in saying, "Hey, can you punch me in the mouth until all my teeth fly out? I'll pay you $6,000."
They're always bullshit fucking judo people too. Like I have had a conversation. There's this one dude called like Judo for Life or whatever, and every time I block him, he figures out a way to get back into my DMs. Like he'll change a little bit of the profile, start up a new profile. No one knows it's the same fucking guy.
Yeah,
and they get off on it. They get off on you telling them leave me the fuck alone. Like, ooh, and then they love it. And then they keep calling you back. They want that discourse, so don't even give it to them.
Yeah, no. So
unless you don't care,
again, I think that's paid for it. That's all that really needs to be said about that. Yes. So just DM responsibly, everybody. That's all it is.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, DM responsibly. Okay. What else can we talk about? Russell Brand, famous actor, jiu-jitsu player for a little bit now, just got promoted to purple belt. Yeah, it's just kind of a slow time. Yeah. We could talk about Corey Anderson, but I think I'd wanted to talk to you a little bit about Russell Brand, just because it's put another focus on, whenever a celebrity gets promoted, it becomes like a big news story. It helps funnel more and more people into the sport. And you've gotten the chance to roll with some like professional athletes in different disciplines. How legit do like celebrity figures do you think actually take jiu-jitsu, from what you know?
I mean, it's all we've had this conversation quite a few times. I remember it usually revolves around Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, he gets a lot of the shit, and I feel bad because like it's not his fault. He didn't choose to get promoted. That's the weird thing.
And when you want to talk about that, the finger you point, or the person you point the finger at, is Jean-Jacques Machado. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to question Ashton Kutcher's brown belt? Or are you going to question the fact that Jacques Machado gave him a brown belt? Because if you're questioning Ashton Kutcher's brown belt, you're questioning the integrity of one of the greatest jiu-jitsu practitioners of all time, a legendary figure of the jiu-jitsu world, that says that Ashton Kutcher is a brown belt, and speaks it quite fervently that Ashton Kutcher could be a world champion if he could train at the level required to get there. Unfortunately, because of his business schedule and his personal life, it's difficult for him to be able to do that. I don't know. I go back and forth on this. Russell Brand, we talked a little bit about this last week. Again, I like Russell Brand. I don't like him. I just think he's a little bit nuts. I think
he's a bit of a weirdo.
He's a bit of a
vaccination stuff kind of just rubs me the wrong way. I think he's,
he always strikes me as someone that has figured out a way to get clean off drugs, but is really not. He still just has an addict mentality, and I can't. There's still this air of arrogance that doesn't really flow through. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that accord. I wish for the best for you, Russell Brand.
Yeah, no, we don't. Hey, listen, we'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah, I know, right? Russell Brand, come on.
Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, we talk jiu-jitsu. We'd love to know more about your training, because it seems like he got purple belt really quickly. I forget.
Wasn't he just a white belt?
No, he got promoted to blue a couple years ago.
Where does he train at? Does he train in London or something like that? I think
he got promoted by Henner. I know that. He got promoted to blue belt in 2019. Excuse me.
So yeah, that's not too bad. 3 years.
That's not, assuming he's consistent with it.
Well, he doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like his career, his public career is taken off to new heights these days. So maybe he's dedicated himself to jiu-jitsu. It seems that way.
He's got enough money. I mean, he's pretty well off. I know that. He's got a podcast that does really well. He's got a YouTube channel, so he's got side hustles that are putting in money. And I guess at the stage of his career, he can just focus on grappling, which is
whatever
good.
He wants to do. He's fucking Russell Brand.
I mean,
he could probably spend the rest of his life just being Russell Brand and live a better life than me and you. You know what I mean? Like, he's made that much of a name for himself to be able to, hey, I'm Russell Brand. People pay me. And that's pretty much all he has to do forever.
Yeah.
When I think about guys like that, I think about, I want to believe that if someone gets a purple belt, they are doing what it takes to get that purple belt. I really want to believe that. And I always go back to who gave them that purple belt, and I put the integrity of that belt onto them.
Yeah.
I just know that I have quite a few people that I have A-listers that I teach private lessons to quite a bit. I have either, semi-celebrities, ex-professional athletes, or people that are just very high-end members of the community that time is limited for them, and they try to get in whenever they can, and they can afford to have me watch them an hour a day when they train. And whatever. Like I said, it ain't fucking cheap. My private lessons are $100 an hour. It's not a whole lot of people that can afford to do that 2 times a week, 3 times a week.
You should hit up Luca Judo 77. Those are better rates than I give.
Exactly. That's what I say, Luca. $150 a day. Are you kidding me, brother? Get out of here.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up.
But what my private lessons, if I'm going to give you a blue belt, you're rolling. I don't care what you say. You're not rolling with me either. Like, we can roll a little bit here and there just to learn for some things, but there's not a world where I can even pretend when you're a blue belt to give you a legitimate feel for what it's going to be like in a real life situation. And one of the things that makes jiu-jitsu so great is the fact that we recreate these real life situations over and over again when we roll. So I tell them straight up in the beginning, we will do all one-on-one things. And even though you think you're not going to join a class, I'm going to make you come to class. Now, I will come with you and I will sit in class with you and I will watch and make sure and handpick the people you're going to roll with, because I'll find people that I know aren't going to spaz out and hurt you. And everyone in that gym knows that if I am watching this person, they are paying me a great deal of money. So if you hurt them, I'm going to take it out of your ass. So that being said, I have a guy right now. It's very close to getting his purple belt. He does private lessons with me almost exclusively. But he takes classes and he goes and rolls and he does all the things he needs to do in order to get that purple belt. And I don't care how much money you have. You can't do it unless you do what it takes. And like I tell people, I wish there was a world where someone could give me 20 grand and I could just give you a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but that's just not how it works. And we can do that and I can pretend, but it's not going to mean anything to you and it's not going to mean anything to the rest of the world.
Well, the shitty part is there are, not to that scale, obviously, but there are gyms that get called out for that, where it's pay to play. It's, the Gracie University famously got a lot of shit early on for their belt
Yeah.
system and their promotion style. So, do you think that the jiu-jitsu community is still really good at calling that shit out, or is there any kind of slacking that's happening?
I mean, like I said, I don't know what goes on between John Jack Machado and Ashton Kutcher. I've never been in on one of their private lessons. I don't know if he makes them roll with other people. I'm assuming he does. I mean, there was footage of him rolling casually with Craig Jones. Um, I'm also assuming that there are certain levels of training that have to make sure that Ashton Kutcher is safe because he is worth a lot of money. Just
Yeah.
the body. I mean, it's way different when you have someone that's a celebrity
If
that
Ashton
makes their
Kutcher
money
breaks
off of.
his leg
Yeah,
in the middle of a production just because
yeah,
he's
he's
doing
fucked.
jujitsu,
Yeah,
that's production gets shut down. Everyone
that's a
has to
$100
go
million
home.
mistake.
That
Half a
and
million.
people don't get paid.
People don't get
Like
paid.
people
Right? The
just
star of
don't
the
get
movie
paid.
can't act.
Yeah,
And the same thing with Keanu Reeves. I heard he does some jiu-jitsu training. He seems pretty hands-on with
yeah, he's
his
flowing
stunt work.
around. Yeah,
But I mean, if you're rolling with Craig Jones and he heel hooks you and snaps your knee, you know, holy shit, that's a fucking $100 million mistake right there. You can't
yeah,
have Keanu Reeves out for 6 months with a blown ACL.
yeah.
So it's all about trust in the integrity of the professor, and I truly believe that. I don't think that there's too many people out there that are looking for that extra buck. As I'm opening up my own gym, I'm not gonna lie, I have a couple people that I really like that I've been dealing with for a long time, but I'm over teaching private lessons. I believe I'm kind of gearing towards what Sonny Parlin would say is like, you want to take fucking jiu-jitsu, you come in and take a class just like everybody else.
Yeah.
We could do a private lesson here and there to help bone up on your skills and we could talk about it. I kind of enjoy it sometimes, but like a lot of people really think that private lessons in some way usurp or are more important than rolling, and they're just not. Taking a private lesson reinforces what you do on the mat, but you have to go apply it to make it work, and that's what makes jiu-jitsu special.
I definitely agree. I think I've taken two or three private lessons lifetime, and they were my brother ordered them when he was getting ready for the Marine Corps. So I was just there as an extra body. I didn't even like pay for them. And you'll never replicate the feeling of rolling with a bunch of different people, different bodies, different styles, skill sets. You can get a lot from just one-on-one Q&A and like when the professor's able to just focus on you, but it's got to be paired with like in class rolling. I think.
Yeah, and when I'm rolling with, not just my private lessons, like I'm rolling with fucking like 80%, 90 fucking percent of the world, and I don't mean this to sound arrogant. It's just the facts. When I'm rolling with, 90% of people, 90 fucking 95% of people that are blue belt or below, even purple belt or below, like most of the time I do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? It's not even, I'm not trying to be arrogant. Most black belts are the same way. There's not a world where everyone wants to roll with Coach Kevin. Oh, I want to roll with Coach Kevin. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But like, first of all, like, maybe I'll be impressed. Probably not. You're still a fucking blue belt. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting better, I guess. I can give you pointers and things like that. But like, don't think like you're bringing it. You know what I mean? Because you kind of are, but you're not really. Like, I'm literally like taking a nap and checking my fucking emails while you're doing that.
Whatever you think, obviously success and winning in practice is very important. It can do a lot for you just like emotionally, like for your ego, and it helps you know you're getting better. But I would say 80% of what you think you've won by beating Kevin Gallagher in a practice role, it's not there.
Yeah,
I'm just
even if you
or
even
anybody,
if you,
like
even if you submit me, like if we're rolling, I've been submitted by purple belts. They catch me here and there. Purple belts are good at jiu-jitsu, but even if you catch me in that go-to move of yours, like the reality of it is you're probably never going to catch me with that again. Not for a long, long time until you start getting closer to your brown belt and your purple and your black belt when you start to learn how to hide a little bit more and deceive me a little bit more. What's going on?
And I don't think you should that that's the underlying issue, is that you shouldn't be in jiu-jitsu just so you can like repeatedly beat people in like just beat people up. There's so much more to it than that, you know?
It ties right back into the idol worshiping that is kind of the scourge of our industry for several different reasons. And a lot of guys, particularly these people that want to come and take private lessons, they have a whole lot of money and don't think that you're not. I mean, I don't want to say that you're not going to get better by spending an hour with a black belt, a world-class black belt, watching your every move and giving you details all the time. But it's not going to compensate for rolling. You have to go out and roll. And a lot of these guys really believe that, well, I'm just going to take private lessons every day, all week long. And it's like, bro, like that's only half of it. That's really not even half of it. The tutelage and the technique is cool. You have to spend, 25-75 on the mats. You have to. You have to go out there, 75% of the time. You have to be out there rolling hard, rolling with your people, learning how to get better. You just learn how to apply all the shit you learned with the hour that we spent together.
I think that's a solid read on it. You know? So, congrats, Russell Brand.
Yes, right.
Please shut up about vaccines. That's it. Yeah, we're cool. Just do that. Yeah, do that. And we're good.
I can't even say we're cool with that. That guy just rubs me. Speaking of idol worshiping, he just reminds him. And again, I apologize. What did I say last week? I feel like he's the Messiah for people that just aren't that bright. I'm gonna hold to that. He falls into that category for so many different reasons. It's just one of those people that
it's ludicrous.
Yeah, he has a charisma about him that attracts people and doesn't necessarily mean that
he can like start a cult. Yeah, like that's the
start a cult. He already has a cult.
I don't know. Yeah,
Joe Rogan.
Oh god.
him and Rogan could be the.
They get on the ivermectin train, yo.
Yeah, run for the president of the world.
Let's talk about some incredibly breaking news, which we don't often get to do. Huge news for the team over at Daisy Fresh. Massive names joining up with the squad. Both Mikey and Tammy Musumeci, along with Dante Leon, joining Pedigo Submission Fighting, which is just bonkers. It's a huge influx of talent. What do you think about that?
I mean, fuck, dude. Like, those guys are taking off, man. They're winning everything. They're crushing it.
Shit. Shout out to the Hillbilly Hammer.
Yeah, also, did he just win the Worlds, too, or something?
Yeah.
He's killing it. Yeah,
he just beat Tackett, and then he won the Worlds. Like,
yeah, then they've got the Wizard Kid. They got all their kids out there that are really...
Wiltsey, like, oh, my God.
They were putting out an incredible amount of talented grapplers, and it is starting to show because, talent breeds talent. So when you have a talented crew, more talented people want to train with you. And before you know it, you have a room full of ridiculously talented people making each other better. It's the same thing that happened with the Danaher Death Squad, Fight Sports guys, Atos guys, all these other checkmark guys, all these other great jiu-jitsu academies. I can't believe I said the F word, but all these great jiu-jitsu academies, they don't get better just because they have great coaching. They do. That's obviously they do. But they get better because they have a large amount of talented grapplers that all come in and compete with each other to make each other better. I saw it firsthand when I trained at Gracie Tampa South with Matt Arroyo, Dan Martinez, Robbie DiNarfrio, Joe Bamboo Weissman, Billy Q. They are all in that room. Iron sharpens iron. They're all in that room beating the shit out of each other every day on a daily basis, and it makes everyone better. I'm curious if Mikey, what's his sister? Is that his sister or his wife? He's not married, is he?
No, it's his sister.
Sister.
Tammy Musumeci.
I'm curious. I know, I'm so out of it.
She was beating the shit out of him when he was a kid, apparently. She was like a little older one.
You would think that I am some kind of BJJ journalist or something like that. I would probably know these things. I'm so clueless when it comes to shit like that. I have no idea who fucking anybody is. When you say things like Kindle Wrestling, I go, oh, yeah, Kindle Wrestling.
I think Mikey's like 22 now. I think he's 22, 23. Like, he's super, super young.
I'm curious. Dante Leon too. I'm curious if they are going to be living the same pedigree life. I'm also kind of curious if those
Yeah.
guys are still, Flow Grappling's kicking them something. They got to be getting some kind of money. They can't be living in squalor all the time. But my buddy's out there right now. I should actually call him and see if he wants to jump on the fucking podcast. But
Yeah,
could
calm.
have him on.
No, but what's crazy is this is Mikey's first like home since Kyle. Like he's wandered around and trained at a bunch of different places, had different people in his corner, but this is the first time he's like hitched his wagon to an established team like this.
Yeah, and then Dante Leone, amazing grappler, right? You know what I mean? These guys are literally on top of the world. Dante Leone's a badass, man. I had him on the Old Man Grappling Hour before. But they just came through. Chuck Liddell was not charged with. It just came through breaking news.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure how to broach that subject just because there's a lot of like instances of mental health and he said she said, so it seems just like a sad situation for him. It doesn't look like he was the instigator of violence, which is really good, but it sounds like he himself was being abused, which is terrible.
Yeah, I can hear that too. There's we shouldn't talk much about things like that.
I think as an address, it's a developing situation, and it's we would just want to know more. Too many people kind of shoot their mouth off about stuff like that. But
it's still indicative of
whatever is happening. It's a messy situation, and we hope
for the best for Mr. Chuck Liddell, because he's a true champion that deserves the best in life.
And his wife, if she's suffering from some mental stuff, it just seems like a sad situation.
Yes.
So
yes.
But yeah, back to the Musumecchis moving to Illinois. But yeah, do you think that with this trio that's joined up, are they now in a new stratosphere? I think they were already getting there with the performances they've been putting out, but man,
they're in a new stratosphere simply because now they are they're starting to attract outside quality talent. Dante Leone is already established grappler. Obviously, Mikey Messi is already an established grappling talent. So they're starting to have these other grapplers that are outside of the pedigree,
the homegrown team
that are saying, hey, I want to come train with you guys because you guys are putting out an amazing amount of talent. You guys are on top of the world right now. I want to come out there and be a part of that magic and bring what I have to offer.
Getting the day-to-day roles now, including these three, everyone is just going to get so much better. The guys that are already great are going to be phenomenal.
Mikey Musumeci is arguably the greatest American grappler of all time, especially in the gi. You could talk about no gi if you want. Obviously, fucking Gordon Ryan's going to be like, I'm the greatest. We could still say we could talk about a little bit about Gordon next week too. He's got that.
My tummy hurts.
We could talk a little about.
Have I ever told the one conversation I've had with him?
No.
Oh my god. It was a few years ago. Miguel, it was right after he'd fake retired the first time. Right. So no one knew what was happening, but Miguel Benitez, one of Tom DeBlas's black belts, was opening up a new gym. And I went to say hi because he was the first guy I'd ever written an article about for the Jiu-Jitsu Times. So I brought him some wine, and he was really cool. A lot of the DDS guys were there, and Gordon was there, and I'm like, I met Gary, and Gary was very nice. I was like, hey man, I called some of your fights, incredible. He's like, oh, thank you very much. It's great to have you writing about me, and it was very cool, normal guy. I went to Gordon, I'm like, hey Gordon, my name's Kevin Bradley. It's great to meet you. He's like, hey, and I'm like, so crazy about the retirement. That's a lot. He's like, yeah, we'll see. And I'm like, okay. So I saw you just got a truck. I drive like a lifted Jeep. He's like, I hate Jeeps. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, they break on me. I'm like, it was great. It was great meeting you, man.
Yeah, he's obviously short on words. I've had several conversations with him before about various other things, and I don't know. I think it's a weird mix of, I don't know. superiority complex and
I
maybe a
hope
little
he's
bit of
doing well.
Asperger's.
I disagree with him about a massive amount, and I think he says stupid shit all the goddamn time. But
But
I
he's still
wish
the
him
greatest
well.
grappler on the planet.
He's probably no, you
denying
can't
it.
argue with that.
Even with
But
whatever stomach
I
shit
think
he has going on.
we've been reminded that being good at grappling, you can still be kind of a piece of shit. So
I hate to say this, and actually I don't hate to say this. I kind of revel in saying this stuff. Like I'll say it then. I really believe I say this a lot, and I hate to be nasty about it. Thank you, Gordon Ryan, for everything you've done to help get jiu-jitsu to the point where it is now. My love-hate relationship with Gordon Ryan is, ever evolving, and it is what it is. Like, there's parts of me that truly love and thank you, because I don't think that we'd have anywhere near what we're looking at with the world of professional grappling right now without the hard work and dedication of Gordon Ryan. He's become a completely polarizing figure in the grappling community that we all got to where we are on his backs. However, I hate to say this, but I also feel like there's a part of me that's like, we don't really need you anymore. Thanks.
Listen. Whatever. I would argue.
He's just such an asshole.
No, he's a bad guy. He says bad things, and if he believes them, then that means he's a bad guy.
And he has all of these sycophantic people that think that we are fucking bashing him. I don't care. I'm so happy that you're the greatest grappler.
I'm bashing him. No,
you're just an asshole.
I'm bashing him. You need me to say it? I'll bash him.
You're just an asshole.
He's a weird, like, bad. If it's a bit, then he's an idiot. And if he really believes the things he's saying, he's a bad guy.
I mean, goddamn, his own brother told him to fuck off. Like, how fucking, how your little brother.
If I gotta think about the shit I would have to do to get my brother to fuck off, and just publicly disassociate with me, and it's like I would have to run over his dog.
And then now we've got this like
any growth that jiu-jitsu as a whole has experienced thanks to Gordon Ryan, not worth it.
Philip Rowe is my homeboy, and I'm super glad he is getting exposure on the WNO stage because he's awesome. He really is a good dude. He's really fucking funny, and he understands how to get the attention of the people and all the other things that are going to happen. But man, like this exhibition thing with Gordon Ryan against Philip Rowe is just like, what in the fuck are we even doing with that? What is this fucking thing? Are we that jonesing? Do we really need Gordon Ryan in our lives that bad that we're going to watch him pick apart some blue belt and maybe a brown belt fucking UFC fighter just so we can all, he's got about how good his fucking mount game is and his passing game is. Of course he's gonna beat this guy. Of course he's gonna make this guy look like shit.
I just hope he doesn't get it. I hope he doesn't get injured. I hope he doesn't get injured because, like, ever since Cub Swanson, was it Cub Swanson? Yeah, it was Cub Swanson who he did the quintet and he just got his whole leg ripped apart. Where it's supposed to be this.
I'm sure they're paying him.
Yeah, to do it, so but I hope he's just like, it's not worth it, man.
It's probably more than Dana White's gonna pay him. We can talk about that next week.
Oh man, do you have opinions? Wait, Kev, do you have opinions about fighter pay? Do you have crazy opinions about fighter pay? Maybe some link will appear on the screen pointing you to a video where Kev can talk a little bit more about fighter pay. Yeah. So I know we got off track, but I really like Daisy Fresh. Those guys are great.
I'm trying to get my homeboy.
Wiltsy seems just like a cool dude. I like that he's a chill nerd who's really good at jiu-jitsu. So, man, anytime you need someone to DM Dungeons and Dragons for you, like, hit me up. I think he's just a WoW guy.
My buddy. One of my blue belts is actually at Daisy Fresh right now. I sent him a link, and I don't know if he can't figure out how to make it work. So if he can figure out how to make this link work and jump on, we might be talking to the Daisy Fresh guy.
Oh shit! Hang on.
Is that him? Or if there's someone there, it's him.
No, I think that's you from.
That's me hitting it again. Yeah, fuck.
Stop screen. Right. Yeah, I can invite him. Do you have the?
Send him an invite. I texted it to him.
What's his Instagram? Does he have Instagram?
Yeah, is it on Instagram? Yeah, hold on.
I can just boot it over to him on Instagram.
Is it better on the gram? On the gram? Hold on.
On the gram.
On the gram, dog.
Gram, dog.
I forget his fucking name. Josh White, I think it is. Josh
White.
Joshua White.
Is his brother Jack?
That's funny. He'll enjoy that. It's Josh from FL is his name.
Josh from FL. Got it.
I told him to copy and paste it into a web browser. This is
all right.
Great if we get
I just sent him the link on Instagram. Hopefully he sees it.
See.
Tell him that the link is from me and that
right.
We'd love to have him on for a little bit. But I'd love to.
The Daisy Fresh guys you're right. They're taking off. They're doing great things, and
I want them to. I know I don't want it. It sucks that I'm worried it would negatively affect their spirit, like their hunger. But I would love it if each of them had like a house or like an apartment room.
I'm curious what they did. Josh said he was with him at the fighter house and all the other things like that. So I'd be curious to get like an insight.
Wait, so is there a fighter house? Because when I saw like the documentary, they were living on the mat. And then Wiltsey had, with the stimulus money, they all pooled their stimulus money and they bought 2x4s and plywood from Home Depot and they built a shed off of the building for Wiltsey to live in.
Well, that might be the fighter house, quote unquote fighter house.
Like that's a special thing.
I don't ever watch the documentary, so I don't know. I never see that show.
It's funny because they put it up for free on YouTube.
Oh, do they? I have to watch a couple just to see.
No, the first one's really good, and then the Pedigo guys actually have their own YouTube channel where they like do updates. And in one of those, they talk about pooling their stimulus money to buy Wiltsey. They built him a shed, and he like takes a video camera in there, and he's like, I got an extension cord, and for my computer for WoW, World of Warcraft, and also he's like got a little safe for his Oreos so they don't get stolen.
I said they don't eat his Oreos.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta protect the Oreos. He's such a cool fucking guy. I love.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know what the hell Josh is doing. Why he can't figure this damn thing out. He's really a smart kid too. I'm sure he wants to jump on too. He's my.
I sent him on Insta. So
we sent him 3 different links. We're gonna run out of time. I got like 15 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, Josh, if you want to hit us up for an interview or something tomorrow or this week, my schedule's pretty open. So.
But
yeah,
it's funny when you talk about things like that. We kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier off air, how guys, I'm around a lot of fighters, a lot of people that want to be fighters and want to be successful at that next level. I'm not just talking about jiu-jitsu fighters, because now you can actually kind of, kids stay in school and go to college is all I'm going to tell you. But like, you can still possibly figure out a way to make a little bit of a living, a little bit of fun, and a little bit of like social gratification, social equity from being a professional jiu-jitsu athlete, especially now. There's a little bit of money in it now.
Yeah.
But guys don't recognize what you have to do now to do that. Like you can't be a tourist anymore and expect to make it to the next level, especially if you want to try to make it to the UFC. Like you just can't do that. You can't have a normal job. You can't work a 9 to 5. You just can't do that. You can't be like, oh, okay, I'm going to train part-time. No, man, you have to realize that you're going to have to live in a shitty fucking apartment, maybe with some shitty fucking roommates that are doing the same fucking thing, like-minded people, right? You're going to have a shitty paying job. The rest of your life is going to suffer. You're going to have to make the sacrifices required to make it to the next level, which is why, there's so many, you have to be a special, driven, a little bit nutty person to be able to do that. And a lot of guys just don't. A lot of guys that come in, I have so many UFC fighters, so many people that say they want to be UFC fighters that come in and start training. They're like, I want to be in the UFC.
Real quick, sorry.
There we go. Did I kill enough time to get Josh on? What up, Josh?
What's up?
What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Tired.
You out there? You get some training in today?
Yeah, we just did like an open mat.
Cool. You got any of the guys with you or just you?
Just me. I'm in the car sleeping outside the spot.
Okay,
cool.
Real quick, let me frame this. First of all, Josh, hi. I'm another guy named Kevin. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Josh, for everybody just joining us, is coming to us from the Daisy Fresh gym. in Illinois, and he's going to give us some insight onto the
Why don't you
status.
get out? Why don't you get out and show us some pictures of the surrounding area? Can you get out and show us the actual building? Maybe we can run into somebody. Maybe you can.
No one's here right now.
Nobody's there right now. That's fine. Whatever.
Dude, the man just trained. He's just chilling in his
He's
car.
tired. He's tired.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's just middle of nowhere.
Oh hell yeah!
Where's it at? It's in like
Mount Vernon,
Mount Vernon, yeah,
Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah.
So you went to the fighter house. Tell us about the fighter house. Are they still living in the gym, or are they living in an actual facility?
There's a bunch of people here, but everyone that I have met so far was at the other house, and they just I hung out there and showered and just kicked it with them. They were very, very, very nice and like hospitable. It's been an awesome experience so far.
Yeah, they probably have a bunch of people in there training all the time.
Yeah,
I got some people that travel and come train with them all the time.
Yeah, there's like people from California, another guy from Florida, like in Orlando. It's like, and then there's a bunch of people who just come here to train and they never leave.
Yeah.
It's
And
awesome.
they end up living in the fighter house with them, and they end up living wherever how many people live in the fighter house right now?
I don't know. I've only been here for about 24 hours, maybe.
Oh dang! So you're like, this is our first report, first impressions.
Yeah, I'll say this: I've already had 2 2-hour sessions that were like soul crushing and awesome, all in one. And everyone here is like extremely nice and warm towards visitors. It was really cool. It's been.
I got to take that trip up there with you sometime. I might just take a flight and fucking.
Yeah,
fly
let's both do it, man.
For sure.
I'll say it's like out of traveling at any other gyms, because I traveled a bunch this summer. This is like the coolest gym, like culture I've seen out of any gym I've traveled to. Like
That's
I feel
awesome.
like I'm at home. It's
Did
awesome.
you get to see Mikey Musumeci, or I think it's their fucking name.
Mikey Musumeci.
Mikey Musumeci or Dante Leone or any of those guys there yet? Have they come in the train yet?
I haven't seen them. I met that Jacob dude. And,
Couch?
Yep, I met
Yeah.
him, and then I've been hanging out with Alejandro a lot. He's really awesome.
Yeah, dope, man. Josh is a super cool kid, by the way. Josh is a musician. He's been doing private lessons with me. He does Muay Thai a lot. He did a lot of jiu-jitsu private lessons. He's got his blue belt when did you get your blue belt? About a year ago?
December, so coming
Yeah,
up on
December.
a year.
He's one of my favorite dudes in the world. If you ever, what bands are you in right now, Josh? Anywhere that you guys can check you out on the gram or anything like that?
Yeah, me and Josh Couture, another Gracie Tampa black belt,
Yeah.
play in a band called Exit Strategy together.
Yeah, man. If you ever want, Josh is a pretty talented front man. He likes to sing and he likes to scream and moan,
Well,
and growl into a microphone.
hell yeah, dude. If you're, I know it seems like you're traveling a lot. You ever find your way up in Buffalo? Hit me up.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
How long you been
I
training?
want to go there the next time Westside Gun plays a show in Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Jiu-jitsu, what, like a year and a half to 2 years?
Probably about 2 years ago. I bet it's more like 2
Oh.
years, brother. We've been training for a while. 'Cause
Dang.
we did private lessons for a long time. We were
Yeah.
doing private lessons before COVID. It's been almost 2 years for COVID. So,
Yeah.
oh, COVID,
I think the
C
first
word.
time I actually went to a class where I rolled was during COVID, though.
Yeah, that's it. But we did just strictly private lessons for a while. Wait, how much weight did you lose, by the way, Josh?
135.
You see, I use you so many times, and when I talk about like what the beauty of jiu-jitsu is and how it takes people and gives them things that they're missing in life and dedicates them in, and like I always think of you as one of the prime examples of someone that has never really been into this type of thing before, was never really into fighting or any of that shit like that. They came with a completely open mind. It was trying it. That was almost like a farce. And now has realized how amazing the art is. And like, you're probably one of the more dedicated people I've ever met. This guy trains. If you think, pick an hour of the day and take a guess to where Josh was at, he's either on tour with one of his bands, setting up a fight or setting up a match for them, or setting up an event for them, or he's on the mats training somewhere. And like your
Dude.
dedication showing, dude, lost 160 fucking pounds, man.
Dude, I need to tell you, this might be getting too personal, but you lost the equivalent of a high school senior Kevin Bradley. Like, that's fucking insane. I'm not even kidding. I was running cross country. I was 135. I was 134 point something, You lost one of me. One of
That's
me is just
insane.
gone.
That's insane.
Like, fucking yay, man. Like, congratulations. That's awesome.
I still got a lot more to go though.
Yeah, brother. All right,
Oh,
man.
fuck
Kev,
yeah, man.
let's
Well-
get him out of here and we'll get this thing tied off.
Well,
man.
Josh, you are the first guest we've had on the Stuck in K-Guard podcast. So you're in the
Well, here
record
I
books.
am.
Congrats, man.
I'll give y'all another update after the week's over and let you know how everything was.
Yeah,
If
man.
you
See
could-
if you get any of those guys that want to jump on a podcast with us.
If you could, I just want you to tell. Do you know if Wiltsey is still living in the shed they've built for him, like next to the building, or does he have his own spot now?
I have no clue because, like I said, I kind of only knew one person, and they invited me to come and train, and I said, sure. And so I'm
man.
just meeting everyone right now, but it's been a great experience so far.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Like,
I gotta
kudos
make
to
it
you
up
for
there,
getting
too.
out there and traveling, man. You're living
Yeah.
the dream. All right.
Life's about opportunity, right? You know. So,
Fucking A, Josh. Josh is he's my
Josh
friend now,
is-
too.
Josh is a
is a
really
cool
cool guy,
dude.
Josh is a really cool guy. We've had a couple fun experiences together. We took a little road trip together too to go watch him in his first fight.
to get
Oh,
knocked
yeah?
out.
Yeah, it was good. This is a funny story. We'll tell a quick little Josh story just because I love you, Josh. This is a great story. So we went up to Josh was in like a kickboxing tournament up in Maryland, right? Was Maryland, right? No, was it Dirty
Myrtle.
Dirty Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach, Dirty Myrtle, which, by the way, I've heard people say that there are some nice places and it's kind of this rich old guy kind of getaway where they go golf and shit. Wherever
My
we were, that
grandpa's
was
one of
not,
those.
yeah, that was not the spot to go hang out at. Myrtle Beach, it was not a very nice place. But anyway, we went up there to go watch. We went up there to go compete in a kickboxing tournament, and it was a bit of an oddity. It wasn't really the greatest tournament in the world. But I went up there just to make sure Josh was okay because he's my homeboy. Like I was like, all right, cool. I don't want you going up there by yourself. It wasn't really as sanctioned an event. We weren't really super excited about it, but you were going to do it anyway. So we said, you know what? Let me go up there and make sure Josh is okay. So while we're weighing in and while we're getting ready, we look at Josh's opponent, who he was matched with, who was clearly overmatched to Josh. He was a massive human being. We're talking about a dude that had some Division I football experience that said he had two what was it? How many fights did he have? 3 fights or something like that. But he had
No, he said no. He had none.
He said no fights, but he obviously had clearly as we were watching him warm up, he had tons and tons of experience. Long story short, we thought Josh died. It was about 45 seconds into the match. Literally, I had one job. It was to make sure Josh didn't die. And about 45 seconds into the match, I thought I failed miserably because I thought Josh was dead. I've never seen someone go down. I've never seen someone go down like that in my life. It was like in the movies in Rocky. You know,
You
when
are
Apollo
never-
Creed gets hit by Ivan Drago. And in
Oh,
slow motion,
God.
you watch him kind of like
Hey.
turn and then like bounce off the canvas. But to everyone's surprise, Josh was not dead and he jumped right back up again. Wanted to continue fighting. We were proud of him. To which I said, absolutely not. And we got another okay.
Hey, if he can make 205, I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
That's my fucking dog. That's my fucking dog. That
Josh.
Josh 205. No fucking way.
Josh, the unkillable.
He was about 6'6". God, he had to be 6'5", 6'6".
What the fuck, Josh?
5. They hit closer to
He had
300
80 pounds on me.
What the
80 pounds.
fuck? Why? Jesus Christ.
Well, the thing was, well, we drove all the way to Myrtle Beach now. So now we're
Then,
here. We
then
could've
go to the
canceled it. We're
beach.
already
Chill
fucking
out.
here.
Enjoy the beach. Like, just don't do the fight.
That
You're
was a fun time.
insane.
I
We had a
kind of
good
like the
time.
guy now. He asked me if I'd run it back, and I said absolutely not unless you can lose like 150 pounds.
Yeah, we didn't run another back. You can go run your ass to the fucking
All
gym.
right.
Drop a little
Josh, coming out here for all the people of a reasonable weight and size difference.
weight. All right,
Josh,
get some sleep, brother. I love you,
everybody go follow Josh at Josh from FL on Instagram. Go follow. He's got some cool stuff on the gram. And Josh, we hope to have you back, man.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
All
you,
right.
kid. Thank
Be
you,
seeing you, man.
Josh is my homie, bro. He's
That's-
such a good kid. He really
yeah,
is
no.
awesome. One of my, literally, I talk a lot of shit and we laugh about that thing, but I can't tell you I gauge my level of appreciation for people in different measures. Josh is never going to be that guy that's going to make it to the UFC. He can keep fighting for it. He can keep training for it. He can keep working hard.
Hey
and other
man,
things
listen,
like
that guy should be dead. So don't
Yeah.
go putting anything in stone. He might get called.
You never know.
You never
But
fucking know.
I use them. I use the litmus test for a guy like that's improvement. I grade him on a different scale, and just watching the way it has changed his life, and watching the comp level he's gained from becoming proficient. He's good. He's good at fucking jiu-jitsu. He's good at fucking striking. He's getting better every day. He's driven and trained so much, and so many people look to him for inspiration. Like guys that are on their way to the UFC, they look at Josh and they say, "Dude, you are the fucking man. You inspire me to keep moving on." It's little things like that make this shit worthwhile for me. So.
Fuck yeah. So everybody out there training, just remember to be like Josh. Be that guy that people, get inspired by in the gym. Because he's a cool cat. Multi-talented dude. Losing an entire me in weight.
Yeah, he lost an entire high school.
He lost an entire high school Kev. Shit, that just makes me feel fat now. I used to be that tiny. All right. Well, listen, you got a heart out, I know. So let's wrap this baby up. Everybody, thank you for joining us. We are sorry that you've been stuck with us for so long, but we appreciate it. And thanks again to No Judges Needed. Go check them out.
Off Colony.
Go check them out.
Yeah.
Anyone looking to get sponsored, feel free to hit us up in the DMs or any of the links down below. Anyone looking for marketing people, I got my online portfolio down there too, because homies got to eat. And thanks for joining us, and we will see you the next time you get stuck in K-Guard. Good night.